Have you seen anything new?
Well, I have seen a lot of things new, but I don't know if this categorizes as new.
Psych, okay.
Yes. Well, actually, that's the thing. कितनी बार भी देखो, it seems fresh. It seems like there's something. Maybe you forgot, or maybe you just want to experience again. वापस से एक बार वापस देख के वही चीज enjoy करो, वही चीज पे हंसो.
Yeah, because just to give a significance why we are saying again is because when did we start watching Psych? I think 10 years back.
I guess yes, 10 years is a rough estimate, but yeah.
Yeah, around a decade back, or maybe whenever actually started coming online, not on OTT, but some of the other streaming platforms.
एक पूरा set complete किए थे शायद Amazon पे. Did we?
Yeah, I have seen once from season 1 to 8. 8 is the last season, I suppose. I have seen Psych on Amazon, and that time it was my 5th viewing of Psych as a series. And the reason it got stuck with me as my go-to series whenever I'm free or if nothing else to watch is because of, first of all, the writing, the noble concept that it was. It's a detective series, but it's so funnier than most other series that pretends to be funny. And the performances by these two lead characters. And that is the reason what did you like about Psych more? I mean, what have you liked in years? क्योंकि कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि हम लोग पहले कुछ देखते हैं तो हमें कुछ और पसंद आता है, उसके बाद में as we move forward 5-10 बार देखने के बाद कुछ और चीजें ऑब्जर्व करने लगते हैं.
I don't know अगर एज का कोई इसमें है सिलसिला या something, but growing up detective novels बहुत होती थी कभी. Obviously अभी भी है, लेकिन the things that people might may remember are the Hardy Boys or maybe Enid Blyton's Famous Five or other people, other stories like that. Nancy Drew. मैंने सब पढ़ा लेकिन मुझे कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगा.
Alright.
Coming back to something as classic or maybe not that famous is Three Investigators. Hitchcock's name लेके तो क्या नाम Richard something writer है उसका.
Yeah. Okay.
So those stories उसके अंदर जो सबसे best element रहता था even at that age was कि the stories were not obvious. They were not talking down to you. Even if you're a kid, teenage fiction के हिसाब से they weren't talking down to you. लेकिन the engagement of this इसमें भी Psych के अंदर भी the stories, the mysteries are not so oversimplified or are not that complicated जहाँ पे you're not able to grasp them. लेकिन they are intelligent. और उसके साथ में the overlay of how it's being unrevealed, कैसा वो हो रहा है सारी चीजें, even the issue of this person being a psychic and how he's using intelligence to solve those things. There was not a point जहाँ पे लगेगा कि it's too for the cinema वाली चीज हो रही है, too simplified या it's just कोई चीजें होती है that they make force the mystery to solve by saying something totally drastic. वो नहीं था.
Yeah.
So even as a mystery show, I loved it. And comic element वो सब चीजें obviously is the thing that you come back to. One of the mysteries and the comic things are, I think it's unique. Something that you may find in a show like Dr. House.
Okay, yeah. True.
Something that's mysterious, funny, and still very engaging.
And I think the reason I connected with Psych is also because they have this flashbacks which connects them to the present, which connects the lead actor to the present. And मैं जब छोटा था, I started a detective agency.
Oh,
yeah. When I was like 15 or 16, and obviously inspired by Three Investigators, we formed a detective agency called FID, which was Force Investigation Department, and we solved minor, convenient cases. But the point is, at that age when the others, I'm talking about 90s, when the others were forming rock bands and cricket teams, I formed a detective agency. So there is some, and I'm very proud of that fact कि मैं उतना nerd था to start a detective agency. And also because the things that coming to the writing part of Psych, they don't bore you with pretentiousness. Firstly, it's not a preachy thing, and these characters, the lead characters, they are not नहीं हमें जाके सही और गलत का करना है कुछ, and there is some backpack that I have to. There is nothing like that. Similar to coming to a show like a Seinfeld. You know, when you see, and I think we have spoken about this before, that Seinfeld is a show that doesn't try to justify its lead characters by showing that, hey, you know what, they are funny, but they also have emotions. They are right people, they are righteous people. You know, they will do good in society. They never try to, neither Jerry nor Elaine or George or Kramer, ever you see, people who have seen Seinfeld with, will relate to what we are saying. But the thing is, similarly with this, it's not that Sean wants to be a righteous person. Sean to बच्चा है, उसको मस्ती करना है. When he gets this particular idea, he says, "All eyes on me. People stop breathing. Look at me." He's a kid, and so that is the reason. There is no preaching towards the lead character.
And every episode we cite because maybe you guys will go and watch this show. Every episode is kind of a bottle episode. वरना जहाँ पे you don't need any kind of backstory to fully appreciate what's happening. You just can jump in. उसी episode के दायरे में you will enjoy what's happening. And obviously, if you are following the show, you will know about the jokes like, oh, what do you think about Pluto? Some things like that. You will know the inside jokes and something that you makes you enjoy that more. But that's not necessary. That's not relevant. It's not a sitcom.
No, it's not a sitcom. But I would say this, usually theme songs are for sitcoms. In America, also in UK, theme songs were associated with famous family sitcoms. From Family Ties to Cheers to Three's Company, Knock on the Door and all that. I think Seinfeld is the only sitcom that did not have a particular theme song. Then Friends and How I Met Your Mother, then Modern Family. Even Modern Family doesn't have a song, it has a beat. But Psych, I think, is the last funny show coming from US, which has a big popular theme song, which is actually very good.
I know, you know, that I'm not telling the truth. I know, you know, they just don't have any proof. It's the deception, learn how to bend your worst inhibitions, then will psych you out in the end.
You know, मैंने कहीं तो पढ़ा था कि the reruns, based on the reruns, what are the most popular shows in let's say the 10 years or so, taking OTT viewership into account. The top 6 or 7 reruns that people watch are Seinfeld, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Rec, and The Office. But then that's where Psych comes in. It's appreciated, but should have been appreciated more. Psych and the other one is Scrubs. That's what I think. It's so amazing, but when people start talking about their favorite TV shows, or the favorite OTT shows, इन दोनों की बात होती नहीं है ज़्यादा.
Scrubs, for that matter, it has a cult following. No, जैसा Psych का भी है, it has a cult following. Maybe the cult of Scrubs is bigger than Psych, perhaps, but still it's not mainstream.
Yeah.
लेकिन everything has a timeline. But the actors like Zach Braff, they have become famous, and sometimes even new people would know Zach Braff, but they won't know कि कहाँ से famous है.
True. Yeah.
Something like that. But even in even in Scrubs, how do you feel about, as you're talking about emotions, like all these 80s and 90s shows that they go into the emotions very deep because they feel it's a family show and there has to be a message. Even in funny shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they end up with something. They stop doing it at the end, but still they end up with some social message. Scrubs did it, but Scrubs did it really well. Like those emotions were hit at a very high level. They
couldn't avoid it because it's a medical show, and if people are in the hospital, there has to be certain emotions connected.
Yes.
And especially why? Because Scrubs was also running parallelly when Grey's Anatomy was running. And I remember I was my UK with us work, so all the girls would gather and they talk about Grey's Anatomy, and all the guys, ज़्यादा तो नहीं, बस एक दो, we come in a group and we used to talk about Scrubs. So, being a hospital and being compared to always Grey's Anatomy, they had to throw these. But Scrubs, in my opinion, was leaps and bounds ahead of Grey's Anatomy in terms of writing, in terms of execution, everything.
Yes, definitely. And those emotional notes. What do you think about the other shows that try to hit on these emotional notes and maybe are part of the pop culture more often? But I'm sure not for the emotional notes, because of the funny and comedic tones of those shows. But compared to Psych, to other shows, how do you think that emotion comes in factor?
Which ones? Which shows?
Maybe the bigger names that you mentioned, like Modern Family and something like even Friends.
I think
or
everything,
How I Met Your Mother.
all these things, being a bottle show, as you say, or all of these things started after Seinfeld on a more executional level. I mean, there was sitcoms before Seinfeld also, as we know. There was Family Ties. There was, it's a Family Ties because of Michael J. Fox. It became very popular. And Wonder Years. I'm not saying it's a sitcom, but it had some funny element. But I think all the other shows wants to show there are layers to their lead characters. Be it Modern Family or be it, they would try to justify their lead characters somewhere or the other. Even let's say in the show like How I Met Your Mother, we know how Barney Stinson is. All right, but then they have to show another no, he's not that bad a guy. He's not only that. Look, he's doing this. Look, he's also a good friend. Look, he's that. And that there might be Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec who doesn't show any emotion, but there will be scenes where he's actually caring about his colleagues, you know. But in Seinfeld, and that's where the comparison draws, there are no layers to the lead characters. If there are layers, the layers are how they are about the society. Not bothered, not at all bothered, absolutely not bothered. These are the layers these characters grow into. And that is why, if you remember the finale of Seinfeld, it's not just all the people, all the characters coming and in the courtroom and saying that these are very bad people, these four are bad people. It's also the audience of the 9-10 years who felt, how come they don't have any emotions? It's like they are released, if they are anyways, that these people whose wife died, he had no emotions. This Jerry Seinfeld, by his mistake, one Pakistani was deported. You know, all these things. But they don't really care. So they had to show that, okay, even in jail when they're sitting in the finale, they didn't care. Right. So there are no layers to Seinfeld.
I think it's just really bad with your third button. This is ended with the first line of the show. Even how they get into jail. I think there was two versions of the ending. A version was maybe for limited audience, where things don't turn out as in the official canon ending. But even the official one, they end up in jail because they see a robbery happening. A fat person, a very heavy person, and he's being robbed.
They are on a trip somewhere, and
the plane crashes and they're
stuck. They were going to Paris.
Yeah, they're stuck. And rather than helping, they're just looking at the guy and making fun of them.
But that's the ending, which is the common one, right?
Oh no, the common one is it's a dream. The common one,
the one that is on popular.
Official.
Yeah, this
official
is
one. This is the official.
Yeah, this is the official one.
Official one.
Where they're actually laughing, and then someone is shooting them that they are laughing and not helping them. And according to the law of that particular state, if you see a crime, you have to go and help.
And the jokes are like, hey, you should have thought about that when you had those hamburgers. And they're just laughing. And this thing that at no point the show is compelling you to feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Because that's not the point.
And neither is the show asking you to make them their heroes.
Yeah.
Right. So why would they show layers? I mean, I'm not saying every show has to be like that. It's okay. Seinfeld chose to be like that. Then Brooklyn Nine-Nine chose to be like that. Everyone has their own story, but but they're popular and they're accepted, OTT or without OTT. But see, that's the thing. Maybe Psych or maybe something like Scrubs is nowhere. I don't see Scrubs on Amazon or Netflix. And maybe when it comes sometime, maybe the Gen Z, as they accepted The Office and they accepted Jerry Seinfeld, suddenly the Gen Z was like, oh, have you seen there's this cool show Seinfeld? Oh my God. Have you seen this cool show The Office? I love Michael Scott. मतलब अभी 2 साल 3 साल पहले उन लोगों ने देखना शुरू किया and they became the flag bearers or whatever they call it of that particular show. So maybe it's good that maybe if Scrubs comes, or maybe when Psych is now on Netflix, there will be a total new group of people that they will start watching this particular show. Because ऐसा नहीं है कि हम जब इनफैक्ट तुम्हारे पास तो OTT है, हमारे पास OTT था नहीं जब हम एक्सप्लोर करने लगे things like Psych or Scrubs or बहुत जुगाड़ करना पड़ता था. So it's okay, you should have that particular cultural instinct that you should. It's not just that वो आया कभी अगर कभी तो देख लेंगे. वो मैं हिंदी फिल्म्स के साथ खेलता हूँ. वो आया तो देख लेंगे.